Go.
Good afternoon, I'm Gaëtan, I'm an RTC trainee in the Southeast ACC in Aix-en-Provence. And I am also a rookie pilot. I fly PA-28. And as an air traffic controller and a pilot, I can really see that sometimes on both sides they don't through the frequency, the pilot and controller work together every day, and sometimes they don't understand each other, so it can lead to clashes through the frequency sometimes. But they really have to understand each other's constraints and why decisions are taken sometimes. So that's why I think the pilot and controller have to get to know each other. So I'll first talk about the controller side in France, what we are taught and how it works in France. So the air traffic control is a service provided to the airlines. As a service, it has to be safe and efficient. And to be safe, we have to apply the regulation. But to be efficient, we have to be aware of what the different facets of the pilot's job are, and how plane works, for example. So we have to be aware of the aircraft performances and limitations, of how a flight is managed, and what's the workload in the cockpit. At the ENAC, for the air traffic controllers, we receive a quite complete, a good training about flying conditions and about
comprehensive.
Comprehensive, yeah. About what piloting is. So we follow, for example, courses about the aircraft use techniques, meteorology, the engine use, for example, to understand that you have a delay between the moment when you apply thrust and the moment when you when it's really when the engines are really working. So, and we also stop laughing, please. We also have simulations about the Airbus 320 flight management computers to understand the flight management. After 1 year at the ENAC, we follow a pilot training. This is followed by at the CEFA, that is the State Flying School, where we are given 45 flight hours flying TB10s, that you can see on the picture. And at the end of these 45 flight hours, those who have a good progression can take the private pilot license test, which I passed. So after getting your your PPL, you are given every year subsidies to keep on flying and to maintain your license. However, even if we have quite a good training about what piloting is, when you ask a pilot what he thinks about the ATC, there are some critics that are recurrent. For example, pilots are not always allowed to climb to the optimum flight level, so they burn more fuel. No. They can't also have the shortest possible routes, because the routes are designed regarding the sectorization of the airspace, so they are not completely straight. The aircraft can't make continuous descent approaches. That would be really fuel efficient, but it's not really easy because for the traffic control because of the other planes. Sometimes pilots think also that they are asked for inadequate performances. For example, depending on the aircraft, a controller would ask for a good rate of climb that is not suitable with that type of aircraft. And so the pilots want to fly high, they want to fly short, but to understand why they can't have these good conditions all the time, they have to understand the air traffic control strategic choices and restrictions. So, for example, a division into sectors. So, what it implies, for example, about the routes, about the different coordinations, and about the coordination flight levels. Nowadays, also, many aircraft have quite the same optimum flight levels, so they all want to fly at the same flight levels. That become overcrowded, so we have to take measures to cap some flights in order to have these flight levels less crowded. I wanted to take information about the training pilots receive in France. So at the ENAC, we have what we call the EPL training. It is pilot training for airline. They follow an ACC en route simulation at the ENAC to see what a radar screen looks like. They visit a control tower and an approach center, usually the Blagnac Center. And their air traffic regulation courses are taught by air traffic controllers, so they can explain some restrictions, for example. And when working for an airline, they can rely on their job experience. But many other pilot trainings, because, for example, in France you have 3 or 4 private flying schools. Many other pilot trainings do not include such training. So they only focus on piloting and they don't have any awareness about air traffic control. So that's why I think the best solution to improve on both sides is to get together. So for example, at during an initial training at the ENAC, we have airline internships. So for example, I did a training at Ryanair. So for 1 week I made 4 flights, 4 round flights. So during which I could talk with the pilots and we can exchange. So for example, they could give me feedbacks about what was happening with the air traffic control, could explain to me what they were doing and what the workload was. And I could also explain to them some restrictions that they were not aware of. There are also some local initiatives like the FATCOA's Pilot Controllers Forum. The FATCOA is a French Air Traffic Controller Association. Every year they set up a meeting between controllers and pilot representatives to meet and exchange. Usually the pilots will visit the Marignane Tower and Approach Center in Marseille, and also the control tower of the control room of Aix-en-Provence. During this forum, the pilots can explain the company. Stop laughing. The company decisions and policies about, for example, about fuel, about economy, and the controllers can explain to the pilots different constraints they have. So I like to conclude on the fact that initial training is quite efficient for air traffic control, but it's not sufficient. And usually the direct exchanges are the most interesting and the most interesting and efficient ways to learn from the other side of the mic. So that's why I think these initiatives should be democratized to be able to give feedbacks regularly and easily in an informal way to make you do your job better. Do you have any question?
55 minutes.
I'm very sorry. It's hard.